floor is yours.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the beginning of Season 3 of Burn It Down NASCAR Podcast. Of course, that makes this Episode 1.
Correct.
Can't mess that up. We kind of had a little production meeting before we came on, which we normally never do. But we've kind of decided we're not going to even touch the 2024 season yet. We're going to save that for next week or the week after. Because we've basically been offline for about 6 weeks now, 8 weeks. It's been a while. And there's been a lot of things happen in the world of NASCAR over the winter. So I think we're just going to kind of do a back and forth, discuss it, see what we think about it. I think there's some really cool things that's happened. There's some sad things that have happened. And there's even a couple of things I'm going, what the hell? So I do want to just start it off because this man was an icon. For as long as I've been watching NASCAR, and I'm 61 years old, Ken Squire's been on my TV, and he won't be anymore. He passed away, I believe it was Thanksgiving week or shortly thereafter, at the age of 88. They say he died peacefully with his family around him, but I wanted to start out giving him a big shout. There was nobody that had a commanding presence in the booth like Ken Squire did. He was just phenomenal. Called the famous 1979 Daytona 500. The wreck and the fight in the infield, and Kyle Petty comes from 3/4 of a lap down. Everybody's watching the field, and Ken Squire's in the background. And here comes the 43, and he's gonna win. So I just wanted to start out with giving that man some props. He made NASCAR, and not just from his announcement ability. He owned a lot of tracks in the upper Northeast. Gave people like Dave Moody his start in the business. Sirius XM guy. Gave a lot of people their start as far as getting into the industry through his short tracks and dirt tracks up north. So if that man isn't an automatic in to the NASCAR Hall of Fame this coming year, I'm going to have some conversations with somebody, because that shouldn't even be up for discussion. The man should go straight in right now. So just wanted to put that out there. And we'll lighten it up just a little bit. What you got? Anything you want to throw out there?
No, you can bring it up and I can talk to it, because I don't have like everything written down.
You don't have a list.
I don't have a list, no.
All right. Again, just little news and notes. Some things kind of surprising, some not. Josh Williams, and I believe he's the guy that parked the car on. Huh?
Yes. Parked the car on the start-finish line.
Yep. I love the man. But he's going to be in Colleague,
which is huge.
In the number 11. Yeah, full time next year. I love it. I think I don't want to give him Tony Stewart status as far as his attitude, but I love his attitude. They told me to park it, so I did. That was one of the greatest things of the whole year, was when he did that. And that was in the Xfinity race, but it's still awesome. BJ McLeod bails. He sells his charter to Spire, which is Live Fast Motorsports. And I can't remember who's even driving or what the car number is. Again, I haven't done a whole lot of research. I've just been jotting things down as I hear them. But I don't recall if BJ McLeod was on the track last year. I don't remember seeing him or noticing him. So
he was probably hemorrhaging a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. And those charters are worth more in other people's hand than yours if you're not collecting trophies. Eric Almirola. I think this is really cool. He, retired from Stewart Haas Racing, but he's going to JGR in the Xfinity race. And I believe he's going to not be full time, but he's going to drive quite more than a handful of races over there.
Huh?
Huh?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, I'm just
No,
waiting
no.
for you to
No,
respond.
no, I'm trying to find the charter system for Live Fast and all that. I can't find a list.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I was just talking about Almirola retiring, going to JGR in the Xfinity series, and I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Another one that I think's really, really cool. I never thought I'd live to see the day when Tony Stewart was going to be a daddy,
Yeah,
but he is,
yeah. Oh, I
and he's
didn't.
taken over his wife's dragster full time this year.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Um, Then we got, of course, we just talked about JGR. They are going to do 4 Xfinity cars. We talked about this the end of last year. 2 of the teams are going to be full time, and then 2 of them, I guess, are going to have rotating drivers
For who now? Sorry.
for JGR in the
Oh, the
Xfinity.
Xfinity. Yeah, we talked about that up a while. The big cluster buck that is. I'd be so mad if I was the driver and I'm Xfinity and you're sharing it between 7,000 other drivers. Might as well not even
Yeah.
have that car. Just so stupid.
Well, you're not going for driver's points, just owner points. That's all you're doing.
Money and like I don't know. I don't understand the concept besides about having that car even on the track when you're splitting it between 6 drivers. I just don't get it.
I don't either, but there must be a reason. Joe Gibbs has never been accused of being stupid, so.
Well, I am with this. So
Another I'm glad to see thing happen. Noah Gregson is taking over the number 10 at Stewart House Racing from Eric Almirola, and I love it.
yeah, but there's no sponsorship yet, which if anything is Stuart Haas, but like there's nothing announced for sponsors.
Yeah, but I still love it.
Yeah, he needs that because that's a huge upgrade from what he had. Even though I think we can obviously probably talk about it later, but that legacy going to Toyota, I think that's a huge upgrade for them. But like, because Toyota's gonna give him all the funding that apparently, like a Joe Gibbs, but we'll see where the
Well, aren't they going to be in information sharing partnership with Joe Gibbs?
probably, and they just, I mean, I know we're bleeding off, but they just signed a huge sponsorship deal with Dollar Tree and Dollar General, same company, so they got funding for sponsorship too. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. For what it's Eric Jones, Jonathan Nemechek, and then
And
Jimmy
Jimmy Johnson.
Johnson every so often. Yeah.
And more than a handful. He's going to do quite a few. I saw his schedule the other day. I think Dover's on the list.
Dollar Tree and Family Dollar sponsors Johnson at Dover, Kansas, and Las Vegas. Advent will sponsor Texas, Charlotte, and Kansas. And it looks like that's it.
Yeah, he's only like 6 or 7 races.
Yeah. Looks like 6 right there, unless they add more, which I don't know why they wouldn't do Daytona, but
He doesn't want to get his pretty hair all messed up. Uh, Another I'm happy to see. I think it's going to be fun to watch is Shane Van Ginsburg, SVG.
that boy's going to be all over the place. He's going to be in ARCA. He's going to be in sprint cars. They're going to put him in Xfinity. They're going to put him in Cup. Like, that dude is going to be a racing fiend.
Yep. Trying to keep him off the plane to Australia and back.
Yeah, he's anywhere
Well,
they can put him in a seat to race to get experience, regardless if it's Cup or not, they're going to.
Well, the last I saw was he's gonna at Daytona. He's gonna race in the ARCA, and he's got to do that to get his license to drive in the Xfinity race on Saturday.
What number is that? 91? Yeah.
But in
Go ahead.
Xfinity, he plans to drive full time for Colleague Racing
Yeah.
in the Xfinity, and they're saying select Cup races with Trackhouse, and that'll
Uh,
be in that 91.
uh, uh, he will run at Coda, Talladega, Charlotte, Chicago, Watkins Glen, Las Vegas, and then Talladega in the fall. So one of those 6-7 races. He signed a developmental deal that will include trucks, Xfinity, and Cup races. Doesn't say anything about his Xfinity, but he's gonna
Well,
be
that's
everywhere.
he's going to be full time in Xfinity. Only he's
Yeah,
racing for Colleague.
yeah.
But I just kind of thought it was interesting that NASCAR won't let him do the Xfinity Daytona race unless he races the ARCA race.
Fine, let him grace.
I
Yeah,
bet he
yeah.
wins it.
He'll be close.
Uh, yeah, if he doesn't wreck. Then you got Sheldon Creed after his little cat fight with Richard Childers is going to
Yeah,
JGR in the number 18 full time.
yeah.
That was a lot of bad blood.
Yeah,
I mean,
he said it was the equipment holding him back, which I don't know if I fully believe that because many people have used Richard Childress equipment in one. So I don't fully believe that statement. But
well,
also,
he said that he was being not allowed into team meetings
I'm
and
sure there's a lot. Well, the rumors are probably coming out. He's not signing a new contract because he's going to Joe Gibbs. That probably happened mid-year, so they probably shut him out months prior to this. So, and he was just
well,
finishing.
Gibbs did it to Kyle Busch
I mean, yeah,
when he announced he was leaving and going to Childress. So why would you give him any more and
yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
And then Ty Dillon, he's going to trucks with Rackley Ware. I don't think he'll do any better there than he did anywhere else.
Yeah, he's replacing Matt DiBenedetto, and DiBenedetto just tweeted, I think last week or not too long ago. He tweeted out saying he signed a contract and he has yet to announce where he's going. I wouldn't assume maybe Xfinity, maybe trucks, but he said he's racing again, but hasn't announced it yet.
Yeah. It's too bad. He wasn't horrible.
He was way better than fucking Burton in the 21, so
Yeah, I agree. Uh, and then can't let it go without, recognizing Cale Yarborough. He died on New Year's Eve. Uh, and Cale Yarborough, I can remember when I first began watching racing. I can't speak too much because he was in the dawn of his career at that time. I can remember a few races where I got to see him, but got to mention that. Uh, Here's one I'm really gonna like. Robbie Gordon's coming back for a part-time schedule. He wants to run the Daytona 5 or the Indianapolis 500 in the wing car, and he wants to do road courses and stuff in Cup.
yeah, he says he's just as good as any driver on the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he wasn't shabby on the road courses back in the day.
I didn't think that's what he's a ringer on road courses.
Yeah, well, he was one of the ringer drivers for Childers, put him in that 31 car
Yeah.
full time for, I don't know, 2-3 years, whatever it was. But he was another one of those drivers that seemed like he was hitting everything but pit road. He was all the time. If there was smoke on the track and metal crunched up, he was usually involved. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, another little quick hit. Claire B. Lang, longtime personality at the track, on Sirius XM after races. I never have figured out what was so special about Claire B. Lang, but she was like the godmother of the pits. Any driver would talk to her at any time for as long as she was one of the few reporters that when she walked in, everybody would talk to her, and I never understood it. Um, she was very knowledgeable, but I just, I'm not trying to say like we're changing the sport by doing our little podcast here, but I can tell you one thing: her voice absolutely irritated me to death. I mean, it was especially when she was tired. A late night after a rain delay race, and you had to hear her talk about, I'm in the pit or the press box. It's at whatever time. It's late. All the lights are off. I'm here by myself, but I'm doing this for you. And it was almost a pity party sometimes, but she was well respected by both the drivers, the owners, and the organization. I never quite got that, but boy, she was it. She was kind of like the Dale Earnhardt, how he was the mayor of the drivers. She was kind of like the mayor of the press corps. And like I said, I never got it, but anyway, she's not returning. She's retiring. And not that I listen to Sirius XM for racing and that kind of stuff. I usually listen during the day, but I'm not going to miss her. I'll be nice and say that because I really never listened to her. Have you paid any attention to the Sonoma repave?
Yeah, I've heard some things about it, but I haven't looked into it. But I know they're doing it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
It'd be interesting to see how they get on it and see how they like it.
Yeah, see how the tires react, and I think the first race, well, the only race, but when they get there, it'll be very interesting. It'll be a race to watch. Will the tires have more grips? Will they wear out faster?
Yeah.
It's another little thing still out in California. I'm excited to see is that they actually have completed demolition of the old Auto Club
Yeah.
Speedway, and they are now starting to put together the little short track, and it's going to be a little Bristol.
Yeah, it's a
I don't know what.
hybrid. It's a hybrid Martinsville Bristol from what we've seen from
Yeah, I don't know
their
what the
idea.
banking's going to be on it,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a little short track, little half mile.
It'll be a hot destination if it's anything like Bristol.
Yeah,
They
I
need to,
think
for
they're doing.
one, NASCAR needs to fix their short track racing, which they put out a thing last week about the new short track package, which the driver said it doesn't fix it, but we'll see. With all the testing they did, it didn't do anything. They said.
Yeah.
Only thing that's gonna fix the cars, they said, is adding more horsepower to the cars, not stupid louvers underneath the car. And NASCAR is adamant to say and not giving them that horsepower for whatever reason.
What are you gonna do with horsepower at the short tracks other than burnouts? I mean, it's not. You can't. It's not like a drag race. It's car control, and
Yeah, exactly. More
I want
horsepower.
bigger. I want more brakes.
It's I don't know. We'll see what happens this year, but from what I've heard, the new short track package or new whatever they did for isn't helping, but we'll see.
Another little sad note. Tim Steele. I had to relook him up. He was an ARCA driver, big time ARCA driver. Won 3 or 4 times the championship. He passed away unexpectedly. I don't even know what about, but I wanted to give a shout out to him. And the last bit of bad news that I want to talk about today, as we record this, January 15th, we lost Ryan Pemberton today unexpectedly. I saw a guy had done with another podcast had done an interview with him yesterday and was in the process of getting it uploaded when he got the word. So he never uploaded it. That's going to be a hot commodity. His last interview and it's not been published yet. But Ryan Pemberton's been around a while. I believe he was crew chief at Penske for Rusty Wallace. The last 10 years, he's been like operations manager or uh, something with Junior Motorsports for the last 10 years. So he's been
He worked at Junior Motorsports as a competition director for the NASCAR Xfinity Series program. In the decade Pemberton spent with the company, it won the Drivers' Championship 3 times.
See if there's, because when I found it, it was first, I mean, just hot off the presses, so they didn't have much. But and what I'm saying is just from my recollection. I know he crew chiefed.
Among other drivers Pemberton worked throughout his career were Derek Cope, Ernie Irvin, Jerry Nadeau, Dave Blaney, Joe Nemechek, and Mark Martin. It was Pemberton and Mark Martin who were on the losing
Maybe
end.
that's why I was thinking it was Rusty, because that would be right in the era.
Yeah.
Mark Martin. Didn't win a champion with him.
Former vice president of competition of NASCAR. For NASCAR, Ryan Pemberton got his start in 1988 with Jack Roush.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Like I said, I can remember him bouncing around quite a bit, and then he just kind of like went away. But I knew that he was over at Junior Motorsports. So anyway, I'm waiting to see what happened. I'm assuming some kind of cardiac event, but he'll be missed. And then another thing I just found out today, and only because, Chocolate Myers, Danny Myers, that he was the famous tire changer for Dale Earnhardt for all those years. He was the guy when Earnhardt won the 98 Daytona 500 that was standing on pit road all by himself. Big old burly dude crying like a baby. Beard. That's who that is. He's and a myriad of other co-hosts have been doing Trading Paint midday on Sirius XM. And again, I don't really listen to them all that much, so I wouldn't have noticed this because it's after my time in the car for the day. But they've been off the air since December 22nd. The whole show has been gone. And I guess his wife, not I guess, I know it's his wife, posted on Facebook today. She's pretty irritated about it. Late last year, he did have some cancer that he fought and won. And then just all of a sudden, they got done with their last show. I believe it was December 22nd. And they were told that they were on hiatus and they didn't know if and when they would come back. And they haven't given them a reason. And she theorizes it's his medical issues plus his age. I mean, the man is probably, if he's not 70, he's darn close. So, but he is fun to listen to. The stories he tells, some of the stuff they used to do is like Days of Thunder stuff that they used to do all the time. All right, I got one more thing, and it's kind of my most favorite thing that I've heard in the off season by far. Mr. Ray Evernham, and I can't remember who his partner is, have bought the IROC series and are resurrecting it this year.
And didn't we talk about this last year? We wanted IROC back. We talked about it.
No,
yes.
It was just announced.
No, we talked about IROC.
Oh yeah. Okay, not that Ray.
No. Yeah, we talked about we need IROC back, and look,
it happened. I'm glad they're doing it because it
needs to be similar like
it was.
Isn't that
what we got right now on Sunday afternoons is IROC? They're all the same damn car.
Essentially.
But I'm hoping that they bring back the classic cars to do it. The old, I think they were Camaros.
It'll be updated something.
I just hope they don't have to go by the NASCAR rule book.
It'll be their own. No, it'll be their own thing. Here's a little funny tidbit I didn't know. SRX started with Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart and co. Ray Evernham got kicked to the curb for whatever reason. He partnered up with somebody else, bought IROC, is launching IROC, and SRX cancels the 2024 season.
Yeah, I saw that too. I never did see much of the SRX, but
apparently it was good racing. Wait. But
and the cool thing, if they do it the same way as they did it back in the 90s and early 2000s, for that matter, is they bring like 12 cars.
Yep.
They're identically prepared, and they're nothing on them. And then the guys sit there and they literally, other than numbers.
Yep.
And they literally draw numbers out, and that's the car they get for that weekend. They decal on their name, they go qualify, and go race.
Yeah, we'll see how Ray Evernham takes it, because it's his now. He bought the rights to it, so he could change it however he likes.
I hope he does it almost the same way, because however many races you do, you could actually drive a different car every time. It's just a matter of what number you. But I hadn't put that SRX thing with Tony and kicking Ray to the curb together, so that is kind of ironic.
I don't know what happened between them, but yeah.
Tony's on hey, can I play too?
Yeah.
He's too busy driving his wife's car.
Tony's got too much on his plate, so him dropping that probably lightens the load, and plus going full-time in the alcohol dragsters and then having a kid, and he needed to get rid of it. And plus, on top of being an owner of a cup team, literally, they're rebuilding with, they got Noah in, and they got Barry, so 2 new drivers, and then they got Priest, who's a second year, and then they got Chase Briscoe, which Matt Boy needs to settle down. He thinks he's the hot honcho of that team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Like, boy, you need to actually win some races before you can think you're a hot honcho.
What has he got? One or two wins?
One, I think. He won 1 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, he's decent, but no, I'm sorry, Noah Gragson, get him the equipment. He's gonna school your ass.
Well, there's some things that I've got spinning around in my head that predictions and.
Yeah, we'll do that.
One of them's going to be who will be the first one on Stewart Haas to win a race. That's got to be a question.
Yeah, we could do every team, to be honest.
Well, Stewart Haas will be the most interesting, I think. But like I said, I don't want to get into next year on this episode. We're just kind of knocking the rust off and getting things going again. In fact, we couldn't even get things going live this week, so we're just recording it.
Another thing, did you know Kyle Busch is stopping his Rowdy energy drink?
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
Do you know why?
Too much damn money. He lost. I just don't.
He's getting sued.
Is he?
Yeah. Something about the nutrition.
He's not being healthy or whatever.
Well, that, and it's not accurate or something.
Oh, it's probably not accurate.
Yes, I think somebody took a sample and did a lab test on it.
All it is flavored tea, from what I understand. It's not a really energy. It's flavored tea.
Well, it's nothing now. It's closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there goes the sponsor. But I don't think Kyle Busch has got much to worry about in that department.
He got a new sponsorship too. He got a new alcohol sponsorship. I forgot who it was, but they announced that last week. Sonny D, Josh Berry got Sonny D, and somebody else. It's gonna be interesting to see sponsorships change throughout the year. Oh, another thing we need to talk about, we haven't brought up, is Chevy's not changing their car. Toyota is, and Ford is. The front end.
Ford better.
Yeah.
Ford?
Yeah.
They got a problem.
Well, it doesn't matter. They won the last 2 championships, so.
Yeah.
Toyota, if anything, yeah. But Ford, yeah, they changed up their whole front end. Chevy didn't, because they're got to change a whole new car because Camaro is being decommissioned after this year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what Chevy does after the year. If they go to the Corvette.
Corvette. Yeah, just go with Corvette and be done with it.
I'm trying to think of other stuff that
Yeah,
off the top of my
Ford.
head.
Well, the story with Ford last year is at the beginning of the year,
Cry like babies.
NASCAR gave. Yeah. Well, no, NASCAR gave them the choice of two
Yeah.
front nose clips. And according to Keselowski, one had more downforce than the other was the difference, and they chose the wrong one as a group, as a company. But NASCAR also told them, we hit Daytona. That's it. You can't change the rest of the year. You're stuck with what you got. And boy, were they stuck. But that was the issue. They said Keselowski thinks that if they'd have gone with the other one, they'd have been a lot more competitive throughout the year. We'll never know.
They won the championship, so that's the end result.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened either. I mean, I don't mind Blaney. I really don't. But he'd have finished like 19th in the regular season.
I think it was 12th if it was like the normal. Yeah. It was like 12th.
It was ridiculous. But Denny wouldn't have won it either if it was a regular old classic.
Yeah.
And he's not going to win this year.
Have you seen all the memes comparing Dallas Cowboys and Denny Hamlin?
Yeah. Absolutely. Christy, who helps me with the Facebook page, I thought I had some disdain for Denny Hamlin. This girl literally hates the boy. I mean, she is. After the season, she was the first one up with old man bearded Denny's, 2035. Next year we'll get one. But so, all right. You got anything else?
I do. The last 2 years, I won.
Oh, here we go. Yes,
I won.
Do it.
I won that, and I'm obviously defending for 3 years. I got your participation trophy.
Oh God,
I saw this at the store. Nice little.
I will take it. I will take it.
I saw it at the store, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get that for my dad.
I tell you, it didn't cost you, but what, $2?
Yeah, it was at the I went not Salvation Army, but Goodwill, and it was there. I'm like, this is a big ass coffee cup, and I'm like, it'd be great for him.
I love it. I love it.
I just gotta get it to you somehow. I'll have to ship it, but I wanted to show you that. I'm like, it's Gordon. It's his, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, well, this year I'll have to come up with a participation trophy for you because I'm gonna win it this year. I'm gonna quit playing strategies and just go with the heart. I even made up a game last year and couldn't win that.
Nope.
So
yeah, we need to promote that too. Whenever they get the fantasy live.
Yep. Fantasy.
I wonder if they're going to change the rules. The last 2 years were the same. The year before that was different. So I wonder if they're going to change up the rule in the fantasy. It'd be interesting.
I'd love to see. I played a fantasy league years ago. It was called Ned Jarrett's Fantasy Cup. And I know there's a few out there that actually structure it this way, but you start out with a $10,000 budget, and every driver costs X amount of money based on
performance, how they've been doing, yeah.
Yeah, and the values change throughout the year. So, theoretically at Chicago, you could have put SVG in, probably could have paid $400 or $500 for him at the end of the race, traded him out, and made another $4,000 or $5,000, and that's how you got your bank account up. But once you had a driver, it was locked in. It was not, you can only have him for X amount of races.
Yeah.
But whenever you traded any driver, and you could trade all 5 drivers if you wanted to, but the value that they hold at the time you trade is what goes into your bank account. So you tried to go with some dark horses. And this was back in the day when we had a lot of ringers going to the road courses, which is only twice a year. But if you played your cards right, you could make $2,000-$3,000 in their money at a road course and get that $10,000 cap up, $2,000 or $3,000 more per race. Or you could take a low value driver, such as a Chase Briscoe or a Ty Dillon, just throw him out there and go out and win a race and his value increases. Well, your cap goes up. So I'd love to see something like that because that gives you more money to play with, but it could also take you down a few notches and you have less money to play with.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily go after your Chase Elliott's and, Tony Stewart, in the day, that kind of stuff where all your high value drivers, you kind of try and take some mid to upper mid and hopefully they do well and build your bank account up. And then as the season goes on, you can get more expensive drivers and, trade them for lesser value drivers, but not lose any of your money in your, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we'll start next, probably next week because we're only 3 weeks away from the Coliseum.
That. But yeah.
I know. And that's a non-points paying, so we don't have to worry about anything but covering it. But yeah, I think it's right after that Monday after they do that is when the fantasy league they get that up and running.
Yeah, possibly.
It's not before because we waited last year and I remember the year before. It's like, come on, man, but anyway, we'll start promoting that real good. Of course, the Facebook page. I'm no longer a member of the big one that I ran last year. Some towelhead bought the rights to it and kicked me out because I told him I didn't like what he was doing. He said, "Okay, watch this. Click. Bye-bye." I guess he won. But I also noticed I can't even find it anymore.
Well,
NASCAR only?
if he blocked you, you won't be able to find it.
That might be. But I don't know if he blocked me or not, but he did kick me out. So, anywho, I don't have much more. Like I said, I just wanted to hit the high notes of things, comings and goings, and I'm sure we missed a few things of interest to other people. But I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's not that I'm a.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't think that because I know the new rule book is out for 2024, and I haven't heard any big to dos about any major changes. I saw, and I don't, with Iowa coming online this week, they did put out the stage breaks, what they were going to be for that.
Yeah, I saw.
Which I was like, okay, so what? But I don't know of any major. I mean, they did some testing and they did do some modifications on the underbelly. To me, it's like, guys, I've been telling you for 2 years. So again, doesn't mean much to me. I don't think it'll make a difference. But you were gonna.
Yeah, the NASCAR Netflix series comes out the 30th.
Oh yeah, good call.
I forgot about. Yeah, I saw the trailer for it, and I like a backstory, and like I like seeing not what you see on TV. I want to see, the heartbreak, and I want to see them pissed off in their trailer. That's the stuff I want to see. Like I want to see. Could you imagine back in the day we went to that Bristol race of Tony Stewart pissed off at Matt Kenseth, threw his helmet at him. Could you imagine the backstage cameras on that? I would have loved to see that. Or even when Matt Kenseth went after Joey Logano, like in his face, and the Gordon and Clint Boyer thing. Like, I want to see the backstage stuff where they're heated and they're just venting all their. I want to see that, and I'm hoping that shows it.
Yeah. Well, they followed several drivers from the start of the chase to the championship.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to figure out who. Obviously Bubba, but
well, Well, that only would have lasted a week or 3 weeks.
The
So
full cast of drivers include Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, and Tyler Reddick.
okay, sounds like the cut of 8.
Produced by Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see for sure how far.
Yeah. No, I will watch it. That's a fact. When it comes out this week or next,
The 30th.
30th. So right before the clash.
Yeah, it's just to get hyped for it, which is fine. It's 45-minute episodes, but I don't know how many. Like 6 or 8.
Oh, you're gonna have to binge watch, or is it gonna go on one a week or something like
No,
that?
you can binge watch it. At least that's what Netflix usually does.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how many episodes. 5 45-minute episodes.
Okay.
Yep. It'll be good. It'll be good. I hope, at least, because the documentaries they done F1, they've done golf, they did some other stuff, and they've all been good. Like, I don't even watch golf, but I watched the golf one. So,
Okay.
it'll be good.
All right.
Other than that, I'm good to go.
I'm done.
Okay.
Like I said, we're just getting our whistle wet and getting ready, and we'll be back next week, and we'll do a little more and a little more, and we'll get this season going. Everybody stay tuned.
All right. See you later.
Yep.